business environment. And we say to you, your success will be our success as well. And so I hope to see all of you in Botswana. What we pledge to you solemnly is to remove any obstacles that thwart and frustrate your efforts. We want, as I've indicated, to have a very agile and responsive administration. Where there are any strictures and obstacles, we will strive to remove them and remove them very quickly. And that is why, in relation to our discussions with DBS, no obstacle will thwart and frustrate our partnership. We've said we are informed by human rights. We are committed to this. The animating energies for our administration revolve around upholding, promoting human rights so that they don't remain only enshrined in textual formulation in the Constitution or some fading parchment, that they are translated into concrete deliverables and that they shine in the lived reality of the people of Botswana. This is my solemn pledge and commitment personally to the people of Botswana. Let us make it the sheet anchor of all our efforts and all our business actions in Botswana. And the invitation now stands fully extended to all of you. And let me close by thanking and recognizing the young people, the students who are doing research, generating much needed knowledge, giving us insights into what the blind spots are. And in Botswana and under administration, we want you to tell us the truth so that we know where the niggling challenges are, the better for us to organize ourselves better and address them fully. So thank you so very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Entsele kwa Antop Duma Boko tlhalositse fa diphetogo tse di bakiwang ke seselediwang ke bareki di tsweletse ka go ama mogama wa ditemane mme a kopa baitsanape le bareki go beeletsa mo ditemaneng tsa lefatshe leno ka seo se ka thusa go tsosolosa le go godisa itsholelo ya lone. Duma gateletse botlhokwa jwa tshwaragano tota mo mogameng o go tsosolosa kgatlhego ya bareki mo go rekeng ditemane tsa tlholego. Duma Boko na rola pego mo phuthegong e tsweletseng ya facets kwa toropong ya Antwerp kwa Belgium. Phuthego e tsenwe ke baitsanape ba tsa kepo ya temane, barfatsi le barekisi ba ditemane ba ka tshwara makgolo a mararo go tswa ntlheng tsotlhe tsa lefatshe.
Mr. President, the diamond market has of recent been faced with well-documented persistent challenges. But there are promising signs of recovery. Green shoots are emerging in the polished diamond segment, with the potential, particularly in the United States, for a stronger retail season. However, We must approach 2025 with realism and readiness, recognizing that market conditions may remain tough. Amid these dynamics, the importance of collaboration between De Beers and the government of the Republic of Botswana cannot be overstated. Our partnership with De Beers continues to strengthen, with negotiations nearing completion. Both teams are working diligently to finalize a deal that will not only enhance the future of Botswana's diamond industry, but also secure confidence for investors and stakeholders globally. To Botswana, diamonds are not just an ultimate expression of elegance and luxury crafted by nature for billions of years deep within the Earth's mantle. They are the lifeblood of our economy, imbued with significance that transcends mere aesthetics. So, buying Botswana diamonds is a powerful gesture that symbolizes your commitment to our communities and the nation's development.
Botswana is not locked. We are centrally located. Logistic-wise, we are an opportunity. Take advantage of that. Without taking much of your time, I'd like to call upon to the podium one of our own. Her name is same as mine. And I don't know, I think we have similarities in thinking. Even, Ms. Malumhompuga, Chief of People, the BS Group. She's done a lot for us as a country, not just Botswana. She represents the region as in South Africa and Namibia. But we've seen a lot of cultural development, a lot of human capital development through her. I'd like to call her upon to the podium to give us a brief of what Mr. President was saying by long-term standing partnerships. Malebo. It is a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, when you come dressed like the MC, it can only be an upgrade. Not only am I dressed like her, we share the same name as well. I stand in front of you. Let me start off by His Excellency, the President, Advocate Duma Gideon Boko, the First Lady of the Republic of Botswana, Meka Boko. I'd like to recognize the Honorable Minister of Minerals, Me Kenuendo. I'd like to recognize the Honorable Minister of Honorable Minister of International Relations, Re Penyu Butali. And let me also recognize the Permanent Secretary to the President, Me Emma Biluitlezi, and allow me to say all protocol observed. I stand in front of you and I stand as one, but I represent many. I represent, first of all, the CEO of De Beers, Mr. Al Cook. I represent my colleagues in the Executive Committee who are with me, Sandrine, Paul, Morty, and Fez. Some of you will have the opportunity to meet with them. But I also represent the many men and women that make De Beers the organization it is, the 20,000 plus men and women in the 20 different countries. And I'm proud because today is about sharing with you a perspective from an investor. I learned very early that, you see, when a company makes the decision to invest, and to invest, especially in an African country, there are three things that they consider. The first is the ease of doing business. When I put money in a country, will I get my money back? Is there a rule of law? Are they structures? Are they institutions? Is there governance? And I think, Mr. President, you've already alluded to what obtains in Botswana. Without a shadow of doubt, as you are eloquently explaining how the transition of power was done in such a seamless, remarkable, and unprecedented manner, there's no doubt that that's a tick. There is a rule of law. The second, especially in Africa, is their power. Electricity is what drives business. In every business, we know the disruption that could happen when you don't have the power. But importantly and more closer to home is, will I find the skills? Will I find the people? Because without the people, you don't have a business. Botswana as a country, we know that the level of investment that we have made, especially in terms of education, a significant amount of people. We're just told that our president is a graduate from Harvard, and I wonder if it would not have been possible if it was not for the investment that the country makes in education. Each and every woman and man in this room who is from Botswana will tell you with conviction and determination that they are what they are because of the education that Botswana is able to provide. And we are all beneficiaries of that. So the skills, tick. But I think when you sum it all up, all these things happen because of leadership that is visionary, leadership that is determined, and leadership that has the desire to make sure that they create the environment for business to continue to do what we in De Beers are able to do. And so the visionary leadership will continue without a doubt under your leadership, Mr. President. So it is not a surprise that companies like ourselves in De Beers have spent and continue to operate in Botswana. We have more than 55 years operating in Botswana. It started off with a mine. First of all, it was discovering of diamonds many years ago in Orapa.
And our partners over the years is producing responsibly into the demand that we see in the market. And we work with our partners in Botswana, in Namibia, in South Africa, elsewhere, to ensure that we produce responsibly with a real eye on the long-term value of diamonds. And that's really characterized these partnerships for decades. So if you look back a year ago, we said that we expected production to be between 29 and 32 million carats globally from De Beers. We've now reduced that by about 20%, down to 23 to 26 million carats. And as we come towards the end of the year, we're narrowing in on that. And I think it's really important that we do that because we have to understand that demand has come down over the course of the year. This is a challenging time in our industry. So we've been working in Botswana with Botswana to look at how we produce from Orapa and from Zhuareng. We've been working in Namibia, where we've been looking at what should the size of the fleet be that operates offshore, and should we remove some vessels there and reduce production there. We've been working in South Africa to look at the Venetia underground mine and how should we pace that underground mine to be responsibly developed. But the key here is that De Beers, as it always has done, will produce responsibly in a close partnership with Botswana and our other producing countries to ensure that we don't overproduce, we don't underproduce, but we produce towards prevailing demand. I think we need to start with some perspective on quite how challenging it is to find a diamond-bearing kimberlite. We in De Beers have spent more than $1 billion over the past couple of decades exploring for diamonds around the world. And across the industry in the 21st century, so here we are 24 years in, across the industry, how many diamond discoveries, commercial diamond discoveries, has the industry made? The answer is one. One in 24 years with billions of dollars of spend. So Mother Nature hid her diamonds very carefully. And we have to use every element of technology we have to try to find out where new diamond deposits could be. I think for the industry, we are entering a prolonged period of supply decreasing. I think supply peaked around about 2008, and we're now on a decline. So diamonds are becoming rarer. They were always rare, and they are becoming rarer. We continue to explore for diamonds in fewer countries than we used to. Even 2 years ago, we were in Canada, we were in Brazil, we were in other places around the world exploring for diamonds. We're cutting that down. I'd like to mention 2 places that we're looking for diamonds. The first of those is Angola.
And we have invested, and we will continue. We will be putting, once we sign the agreement, which the President has spoken about, certainly putting up to 10 billion bula. I don't know of any multinational that has made that kind of commitment in any country. But allow me to end by saying we do what we do because of the partnership, because of the country, because of the leadership, because of the ease of doing business. We don't have to do that, but we know we do it, and it's a reciprocal relationship. I've spoken to you from a commercial point of view, but the lens that I use when I talk about the partnership and when I talk about Botswana as a place to invest is a very personal one as a Botswana. And this is the lens of, you see, for every diamond that we sell, for every diamond, when you buy a diamond, you are creating hope and you are providing opportunity. For every diamond that you buy, you are allowing a young child in a remote village, some place called Omawenin, to go to school and have hope that they too will become the president of Botswana. For every diamond that you buy, you're allowing a mother who is in hospital fighting for their life to have a fair chance of survival, because you are investing in education, you're investing in health. For every diamond that you buy, the communities in which you operate in, you are providing the resources, you are giving dignity, you are giving hope, you are allowing the government of Botswana to turn the promises that they make into reality, create the structures and the institutions that allow businesses to operate and to operate in a way that they can grow. As investors, you have choices around which country you want to invest in. You have choices around when you invest in those countries. How do you ensure that it's sustainable? And I'll leave you to decide, but I hope and I pray it will be Botswana. All I can say is that for us in De Beers, when we made the decision, and we continue to make the decision to invest in Botswana, we realized that beyond the shining, dazzling, exquisite jewelry that I'm wearing today, and the gift of love that comes when you buy a diamond, it is the gift of life that we leave, and the legacy in the communities and the governments and the countries in which we operate. And we do what we do for that reason. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Boko. Thank you. I don't know, I can't repeat. She said it all. Spoke like a woman, spoke like a mother. I'd like for now to call upon Ambassador Masira Mwamba, who is going to moderate our panel discussion, and she'll call upon the panelists. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maleboko. And one more time, a round of applause for the other Maleboko. I'll share with you that we have yet another Maleboko who's a presidential advisor for business. So she's there too, so powerful woman. For those of you that are entering grandmothering stage or grandfathering stage, if you need a name for a newborn, bright, elegant, well-spoken woman, there we go. Can I please invite my panel to come up, please, for this brief intervention? Excellencies, as you know, a dialogue implies that we are all going to be talking to each other. And so as we now get to the fireside chat that we wanted to have, I am going to please just take a seat randomly. We are running out of time, and so I'm going to invite you to just take a minute at each of the tables to have a dialogue amongst yourselves. What is it? What was your key takeaway from our president's speech? What is the key takeaway about doing business in Botswana? And I am also going to call on one of you randomly. So the conversation has to take place because you may have to share with us what you decided at your table. And I will also call upon our students and His Excellency, our President at the end, to sum it all up as we finish this session. So we are very, very quickly going to go through just a snapshot of the type of investments, the type of interest that is being showcased in Botswana. But while I brief my panel on how quickly they've got to respond, you now get the chance to discuss, and the meter is running now. You have a minute plus. I'm looking around to confirm that you are dialoguing. Are we winning? Are we winning? Are we coming up with profound, insightful, everybody on the table? Excellency, dialogue. I don't see you dialoguing right now. Ah, excellent.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, you are dialoguing in your respective teams, and we are very keen to find out what it is you are coming to us with. But if I can have your kind attention, I don't know whether I should have let this cat out of the bag. I don't know if I'll get you back. I don't know if I'm going to get my audience back. Can I please have my audience back? A round of applause will get us all going. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I will now call upon our first panelist. Mr. President, do you give me permission to proceed? Thank you, sir. I will call upon my first panelist to just briefly introduce themselves, and then once they introduce themselves, just a word or two about the nature of their interest in Botswana. As His Excellency said, as my President said, it is important that we look at the capabilities, the opportunities, we look at the diamonds, we look at other types of investments that we are keen to explore and encourage, because he has given an open invitation to each and every one of us. So these three, I just want to share a snapshot of where they come from, how they got to know about Botswana, and what it is they see as a way forward. Go ahead, please. I want you to introduce you, say your name and your business. Thank you.
Coming up in this edition of Eye on SADC, President Angola Mbumba calls on Namibians to uphold democratic traditions. Financial agreement reached at COP29 summit criticized. And Belgian companies urged to explore investment possibilities in Tanzania. Greetings and welcome to Eye on SADC. I am Raymond Thikukutu, your host. Leading this bulletin, President of Namibia Angola Mbumba has appealed to Namibians to uphold the democratic traditions by turning out in large numbers and exercising their right to vote for the leaders and parties of their choice. He has urged voters to do so in a manner that is peaceful and respectful of one another, the relevant authorities and the laws of the country. Dr. Mbumba made the appeal in the message to the nation ahead of the 8th presidential and National Assembly elections.
I am pleased with the manner in which leaders of political parties and Namibians at large conducted themselves during the campaign period throughout our country. The climate in which you campaigned and freely expressed your views in favor of your political parties is a demonstration of the strength of the democratic foundations of the Namibian House. I therefore wish to thank all political parties, their leaders, supporters, and sympathizers, and all relevant stakeholders in the country for the successful conclusion of all the electoral activities ahead of National Voting Day.
The head of state also reminded Namibians that they head to the polls in a year in which they experienced the death of a sitting president, Dr. Hage Geingob. This was the first time in the history of Namibia, and President Mbumba is appreciative of the culture of tolerance among Namibians in the aftermath.
May his soul continue to rest in eternal peace. Our processes, systems, and institutions